going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to show you how to build this. I'm going to show you how to build a custom range hood. Now this is very easy to do. It's basically a box wrapped with oak and shiplap and painted. Very simple, very elegant. It looks amazing when it's done, and you can do it too. I know you can do it with simple tools: drill, miter saw, table saw, jigsaw. There's a bunch of different things that you can use. You just gotta be creative. So let's get to work and let's show you how to build, well, this. Let's get to work. On that note, guys, we're over here. This is what I have. So basically, this is going to be the front of the range hood, the side of the range hood. I've cut these pieces to size, and then this is my other side that's going to go on. It's going to go on like this, just screwed in from the side. So that's going to go there, which you'll see. And then this is the bottom, the cutout for the blower. So basically, that's going to go in this hole. I've already measured it, I've already fit it. It fits perfect. And then the tube or the air hose will be going up through the ceiling. So we're going to be wrapping this in shiplap, and then we're actually going to do a piece of oak trim here that I have. And that's going to get wrapped from this side, and that side, and then shiplap up above and painted. And yeah, I think it's gonna look awesome. It's gonna be a beautiful range hood, and I just wanted to show you how it's done, how it's built, and how simple it is so you can do it at home. So guys, let's get to work. Let's get this done. We got a lot to do today, and hopefully this helps you out. Now I'm just using 3/4 inch material. You could basically use anything for this. If it's like 1/2 inch, 5/8. This is just 3/4 inch plywood core pre-finished maple. That's the material that I usually use. The beauty about using plywood is the structure is super strong, so it's easier to fix or screw to the wall, and it's going to hold onto the wall very well. When you screw through this, it's going to not suck right through the plywood because the plywood has a lot of strength. If any of you guys installed anything or have installed, plywood's always been nice to screw in, because if you have to back that screw out, say you missed the stud and you're trying to fix this to the wall and this was MDF, that hole's kind of ruined as soon as you use that hole once. Beauty about plywood is you can take that screw back out, line it back up, or angle it to hit that stud again, and you're good to go. So that's a tip on that. So basically we got the sides on. We're gonna wrap this with oak, and then we're gonna put the bottom on and then start putting the shiplap on. So, like so. So that's our bottom. Just gonna measure this quick to make sure everything is correct. 35.5, gonna give us a 1/2 inch on each side. 36. Okay. So that's that. Next is this. Now what I've done is this is 1/2 inch material, and the shiplap is 1/2 inch material. So you can see both of these are the same thickness, because what I'm going to do is wrap the yoke here and here and here, and then that's going to be my bottom part, and then the rest is going to be shiplap going all the way up. So I'm going to keep showing you guys exactly how I do this. What I do is I always get a rough measurement. I oversize for this piece. So if this was 15, I'm going to cut it at 16. Miter saw. So that's our first piece. And then what I do for my indication of where this is going to be or where the miter is going to go, just draw a pencil mark on the back side. That's where our miter is going to be. So here's my miter. It's the first one. I'm going to probably keep it about an inch in and then screw from the inside here to make sure that this is fastened to the outside. That makes sense? So that's there. Now I got to cut the top piece for here and here. So just wanted to show you, when I'm measuring this piece, I don't use a tape measure. So how I do this is I take this on the miter saw, I put my 45 on, I line it up, I'm gonna do the best I can, right on the edge, so when this piece comes in, it's a nice 45. Now you could butt those up against each other if you wanted, if it's easier for you, but I like to miter them. So you line that up, you got that like that, and then what you take is your pencil and you mark across there. And that is gonna put that miter exactly where you need it when you take it onto the miter saw. So if I flip this over, there's my mark, and when I cut it, that miter saw blade needs to go right down that line, and that'll give me my 45. All right, so I got this mitered. This is the front piece. The front piece. And if I put it on here, we got our miter, and we got our miter. So those line up. Now we just got to cut our last end piece, and then glue your miter and screw this on. So always use glue on the miter. It just helps from it coming apart, and it'll hold everything all together to make it one. Also, when you're drawing that line, use a very, very sharp pencil. It's more accurate. Don't use a thick pencil because it's just going to hold it away, and then your line isn't going to be as true as a sharp pencil. Hope that makes sense. So I'm going to get flying, and I make one more piece, and then we'll put this together and then start doing the shiplap. There. All right. So we're good. We got our pieces all mitered. I'm just dry fitting them. Everything looks like it's gonna line up nice. It's gonna come down. Now I'm gonna get my clamps, screws, and glue, and get that fastened.
Ceiling's falling down my bed, and they all facing ashes. Bombs away, shadows move close enough to darken. State of mind here. Chandelier of fantasy, neon dreams keep me up.
All right, so I got the oak piece on. I decided to use my trusty 23 gauge nailer. Now, if you have 18 gauge or a 16 gauge, that's fine. It's just gonna leave a bigger hole. The 22 gauge, it doesn't even show any holes with shooting all the nails in the oak. So I'm just gonna flip this around, show you exactly what I did. So I nailed this on, I nailed that on and glued it, and nailed that on and glued it. So that's all on, fixed solid, and you can tell, you can see it's just small nails, but once I sand everything, it'll look really nice. So we got that on. Next, we got to put this insert in here. So that's what we're gonna do next here, and then we're going to start putting the shiplap on. All right guys, so next is this piece. We'll go in the bottom here where the oak is. And I'm just gonna glue it all the way around. We're gonna put this in here. Like so. I'm just gonna put it in about 1/4 of an inch. all the way. And if you're wondering, yes, nails can hold this structure as long as you glue it. The glue is going to be the holding point, and the glue will hold. Once this is dry, this isn't going anywhere. Don't worry about that at all. You can Craig screw it if you want, but this being said, I think we're okay this way. It's going to be really strong. And so that part's in. Just going to clean up the glue quick, like so. There. So guys, you can see the hole cut out in this piece for the blower to fit in. It's all secured. We got our oak put on, all nice, and you can see that it's taking shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this thing up, and then you can kind of see exactly what I'm doing. So we got our oak put on, we got this flipped up the way we want it. Now we got to start taking our shiplap and placing it like that. So it's going to be the same thing, drawing a line, mitering it, putting our pieces on, and so on. So that's going to be the front. So that'll be their oak, that'll be our shiplap, and we're going to just keep layering it all the way till we get the top and wrapping around the side. So this is going to take a little bit of cutting and mitering, and you will see it all getting finished up. Enjoy, guys. Alright guys, before I just go gung-ho here and do all the shiplap, I just wanted to go over it, show you exactly what I'm doing so you know what I'm doing. So if you do build this at home, well, you know what you're doing. So we got our oak trim on all the way around, that's our bottom, and now we're just mitering. You can see, miter, coming across, mitering, putting it across. Now the other thing, if you look closely, you can see this groove going across there. That's for your nails. So when we stack the next piece, which I'll just grab a scrap piece here, it's kind of seamless. You don't even see it. So this piece is gonna drop over top and fit in, and that's where you get your groove. So it'll just get stacked up until we're all the way to the top. So now you don't even see the nail holes. Now I did put some down at the bottom just because I wanted to hold it. So now this piece will be locked in and that piece will be locked in. Because of this was the bottom, I had nothing locking that in because that oak's not shiplap. So that's why I nailed that in. I'll just putty that before I paint it. But other than that, we can start flying. Pretty easy. Well, I hope it's easy for you guys, but I think it's a pretty relatively easy job. If you're at home and wanting to make a range hood like this, I think you can do it, no problem. So again, just gonna get this all done and then show you kind of the end result. right, so we got all the shiplap on. Everything went really good, and it honestly didn't take that long. It took probably about, I think it was about a half hour, 45 minutes to miter and put all the shiplap on. Yeah, pretty cool. So it's nothing crazy. It's not like a crazy exotic range hood, but I think it's gonna look pretty cool. This particular client asked me to put this in for them because, well, they needed something quick and they're flipping this house and they just like want to sell it quick. So they're like, can you put something together quick? So I thought, you know what? I'll make quick range hood and show you guys something that you can possibly build at home. So very simple, very quick to do. Took probably about 2.5 hours, 3 hours to build this completely. And now I just got to finish. So I'm just gonna put some DAP in here, because there is some open miters. I try to get them as good as I can, but yeah, just wipe this stuff in here like that is my next step, and then after that we're gonna hit this thing with paint and then it's done. So I'm just gonna do this quick and then give it a scuff and get it ready for paint. I'll show you how I paint this.
I just wanna be ready for the summer. I just wanna be ready for the summer. I just wanna be ready for the summer.
Hey guys, so we got everything sanded and everything's prepped and ready to go. Now this is pre-primed, so I don't have to prime it. If you want to check with your paint that you have, the one that you're using, just make sure it's compatible, but it should be. I'm just using a polyurethane water-based paint. Now there's a couple ways you can do it. You can roll it on, you can brush it on, or look at the application on the paint that you have bought to make sure that you are putting on the right application, because every paint requires a different application. So for today, we are spraying this one. I'm going to be using my Kremlin. It's an expensive gun for high-end finishes, and the other one that you can use is your handy dandy cup gun if you want. I always recommend spraying. It gets you the best finish possible and it will look stunning when you're done. So we're gonna get this sprayed. I'm gonna hold the camera one-handed and spray one-handed, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna be spraying this. We got it all set up. We got our backdrop put in so we don't get any on our door. And yeah, this is the gun I'm gonna be using. It's my Kremlin. It's a little dirty right now. And we're gonna start over here. So first things first, we're gonna give it a nice light coat. Boom. That's one. Next one. That's it, guys. I'm gonna shut my air compressor off and then show you what I've done. All right, got that shut off. I can hear myself think and you can hear me talk. So we're all ready to go. Now we just gotta let this dry. Obviously the paint's still wet, but everything's looking good. We won't peel the tape off yet, but not bad. Everything looks nice. We got no runs. That's always a good thing. And everything's flying along. So guys, it's as simple as that. This is a quick range hood that you can put together in a couple hours and wow your company when they come over and be like, where'd you get that range hood? And you can say, I made it. So pretty cool. Basically a box with shiplap, oak on with cutout at the bottom. And yeah, I did throw this on. This is the strap that's gonna hold it up on the wall. Again, you can see the hole for the cutout. And that's your shiplap range hood. I will show you the mechanism that actually is going in there. So this is actually the mechanism that goes in, a little dusty, but yeah, that's what's going inside. That's the blower unit. And guys, you can do this. It isn't hard. So hopefully this video shows you kind of how to do it so you can do it in your own way or do it exactly how I did it.
Hindsight tends to make things glow. Forget all of it, forget all of it, forget as they work all day. We slowly kick some rocks and man the roads to right away. Until the line's back up, come happy boundary road.
So there you have it. Pretty simple, all done in one day. I built it, finished it, and installed it today. All in one day. So just remember, you can do it too. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out with the algorithm and it helps my channel to keep growing. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed, and thank you for all your wonderful comments. We always enjoy talking to you and we always enjoy helping you out. So that's a wrap on the JR's life. I hope you enjoyed everything. See you on the next one. I'm exhausted.